Hi, this is Summer and welcome to Being on Purpose. In this video, I want to talk about curiosity and a way to think about curiosity or way to look for it in your interactions with whoever it is that you're working with, um, and how important that is. And then also, I want to talk about curiosity as a way to stay safe in in your interactions with any like authority figure that you have, whether it's like a coach, a teacher, life coach, therapist, doctor, anybody like that. And just really quickly, I want to touch on something like in the last video, I talked about responsibility and how there's certain responsibilities that you have as a client and certain, or as a student, or whatever that role is that you have, and then certain responsibilities that the doctor, therapist, the leader, or the teacher has in their interactions. And so I talked about how sometimes it can be like a red flag, like a danger signal, if consistently that person is saying, "It's not me, it's your past." So speaking specifically of if it's a therapist, they keep saying, "It's not me, it's your past." They're not taking responsibility. So that's a red flag. But in this video, I wanted to talk about like building off of that a bit more. Is a huge danger signal is whenever they lose their curiosity about you, and this can happen. I'm going to show a couple different slides. So like we remember that always it's their opinion of what's going on. Like anytime you work with them, you're basically paying them for their opinion, right? But it's important to remember it's their opinion. Doesn't mean that it's right 100% of the time, even if they think that it is. And then also to remember that it's possible, like, so everyone's a human, right? Everyone, like, nobody's perfect. So everyone pretty much makes judgments of other people. So it is possible for them to be judgmental of you, even though that's not ideal, and that may not be, hopefully that's not what they're striving for, but it can still happen. So there can still be hurtful things that are said. But what I want to focus on is curiosity, and actually I'm going to show this one. I want to think about, or like pose an idea to you to think about curiosity. So here I have this picture, and this represents like asking questions, right? Being open and curious, and the mindset of they're there to learn something new about you, and how important that is, and how that's a huge way to stay safe. And that's not something you can control if they're curious. You can control if you're curious. You can also control if you have a healthy skepticism or a healthy ability to question what's going on. Like you're in control of that. But what I want to talk about is looking for like an easy way to kind of know if things can go, how can I put this? Basically, a good way to know if things can like stay on track and are staying on track is if they are continually staying curious about you. And where you can get into trouble with this is if somebody who has like a big ego, or they say, "I've been doing this for so many years, I know what I'm doing," and they are so confident about what their specialty is that they kind of look at like a few things about you, and then they just make a lot of assumptions and judgments. That's why I have this picture here. Um, they forget that they are forming assumptions about you and your situation, and they forget that their opinion is just that, it's an opinion. And yes, they might have experience, and yes, they might have years doing this, and they've seen a lot of people, and maybe they have seen everybody under the sun with your condition or your state or your problem, or like whatever it is that you're going to them for help with, or whatever you're trying to learn from them. That it's just important to remember like everyone's different. So if they lose their curiosity about you and your specific situation, that's kind of a red flag if it's happening in a pattern on a continual basis. But if a particular interaction is kind of going sour, this is something to really key into and to notice. Are they forming opinions and being judgmental of me, or are they remaining open and curious and still they have their opinion of what they think is going on with me, but they're still open to learning more about my unique situation. And for me personally, this is the biggest either danger sign if I see that I'm just basically being judged and they're forming a quick opinion about me and not open any longer to learning more about me, then that's a danger sign. Or it's also for me the quickest way to know, like, hey, I'm going to like working with this person because they've known me now for X amount of time. We've worked together for X number of sessions, or I've seen them however many times, and they still are curious about me. Like they're still open to learning what's unique about me. And that's like one of the quickest ways for me to know whether I'm going to enjoy working with someone or not, and whether I feel safe working with someone or not. Because frankly, to me, it's really not safe to be working with someone who is just who isn't open to the experience of what's in front of them right now, of you and getting to know you. So yeah, pretty much this is a short video. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. So I want you to think about it as a continuum, because it's it's possible, I guess, for someone to be closer to one side than the other. But basically, the more that you can find someone being curious about you, like on a continual basis, that's important. Because what can happen, I just want to throw this in there really fast. What can happen is that someone can be very curious about you in the beginning, and then once they form their opinion, they close down. I've experienced that more than once. From both people I've worked with, where I've paid money, and people that have been mentors to me that I haven't paid money, but I just formed relationships with them. And then over time, they slowly became closed down to learning more about me, and instead, they thought they knew me long enough that they just knew me, and they began to form more judgments rather than being open to still learning more about what's unique and changing about me. So so that's important. So know that this can change too. It can change with time. That's another reason why I drew it on the continuum like this, is because it's not a static thing. It's up to them to choose to be that way. And it's also up to you. Like I said, this is really a great way to be in life in general, in my opinion, is open and curious and finding out patterns and why things are happening, and being open to learning about yourself, and open to learning about others, and open to learning more wisdom in life. And so that's just really important. But it's important to look for this quality in someone that you're working with. It's really good. So, and to me, this is one of the bigger safety ways to. For me, it's one of the ways that I feel safe. If someone is open and curious, then I kind of trust them more. And then also if they're not forcing their opinion on me, because that tends to go together in my experience. So anyway, that's what this video is about. And if this was helpful to you, please like, subscribe, share the video. If you know someone that you think this could be helpful for them, please share the video. Add comments down below. Let me know what you think of this and what are your thoughts on this. What are your experiences? And I'll see you in the next video.